I wanted to be very clear and concise doing this video. I wanted to wait till the Kansas City Chiefs went to Germany and faced the Miami Dolphins, who are a much better team than the Denver Broncos. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. But I wanted to talk today about what I saw on the All-22 film, because I did a film breakdown a couple days ago on this matchup. And Chop to Liver at Denver Broncos Mile High View is going to be providing you guys one, and I believe the Bubble Man as well. So there's a lot to unpack. But I want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs basically proving our point. Proven my point, Chop the Liver's point, and the Bubble Man's point. The Kansas City Chiefs didn't take the Denver Broncos seriously, and that ultimately bit them in the ass. The Chiefs have been kicking the Broncos' ass for a record 16 straight games, or they were, for 8 years. And that is a record, a historical NFL record that will be placed in the historic NFL records books. And you have the Denver Broncos, and that delusion still runs rampant inside that organization. But specifically, you have the Denver Broncos, who are waving their pom-poms, talking all the shit in the world, saying that we're back, baby. You know, we're back. Let's ride. Yeah, let's ride. Let's ride to the playoffs. I'm going to tell you something right now. You're 3-5. You're going to be facing better teams down the stretch here. And the only way you're going to beat those teams is if those teams like the Bills, teams like that, moving forward, are going to play Kansas City football. Walmart General Football. Because that's what the Kansas City Chiefs did. They took a page out of the Denver Broncos and applied it to their offense and defense to basically say, oh, it's the Denver Broncos. Do I need to wake up for this game? Like, they took a page out of the Denver Broncos today, or that game. And when you watch the All-22 film, when you watch the All-22 film, the coach's film, you see a completely different story. So I'm going to talk about what I saw, and we're going to expand upon that. Number one, Patrick Mahomes is one of those quarterbacks that is hyped up to be the second coming of Tom Brady, in which he is not. To me, he's Russell Wilson 2.0. But the thing that really stood out to me on film is you have these receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs running wide open in the middle of the field, in the flats, sideline, so on and so forth in the backfield. And you have Patrick Mahomes, it's staring right in his face. These receivers wide open, and he's looking for the deep shot. Playing backyard football, running around like a chicken with his head cut off. You have the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line, who is one of the better units in the league. I wish we had the Kansas City Chiefs offensive line. But they're giving Patrick Mahomes 5 seconds to throw the ball. And, that was a detriment more than a positive for the Chiefs. I mean, you have Patrick Mahomes hanging himself time and time again in this game. There was no pass rush to speak of from the Denver Broncos. I mean, my God, where was Nick Bonito? Granted, I will say this about Nick Bonito. There were points, and there was a few plays where he was getting chokehold. I mean, Jawan Taylor and Donovan Smith did their best Garrett Bowles and Mike McGlinchey impressions for the WWE. But again, where was this pass rush? I mean, my God, there were a lot of points in that All-22 film. You have Baron Browning. Again, proving my point, the Bucket Man's point, Chop Delivers and Bubble Man's point. Vic Fangio had it right. There were plays where they were trying to run right at Baron Browning, and his sideline-to-sideline instinctuality, his sideline-to-sideline speed, his hip-to-hip fluidity when he was assigned to eliminate the edge, he was doing it exceptionally. And Vic Fangio had him in the middle of the defense next to Kenny Young. But in typical Denver Broncos fashion, they blew that up. The Denver Broncos aren't back, ladies and gentlemen. Offensively, there were things to like. They were running the Sean Payton offense to a fucking T. Running the ball 30-plus times. Doing those screen plays to the running back, McLaughlin. Throwing to the middle of the field, short to intermediate passing game. That set up those big deep shots to Jerry drops the doodle-doo Judy. And just to expand on that Jerry Judy point, you have Adam Schefter going on 104.3 The Fan and saying to the American public, and I quote, that a team offered a 3rd and 5th round pick to the Denver Broncos for Jerry drops the doodle-doo Judy. Number one, Adam Schefter, who was that specific team that offered that? Because quite frankly, I don't believe a team offered that high of a draft pick for Jerry drops the doodle-doo Judy. Sean Payton was already trying to get rid of these receivers during the offseason. He was already trying to get rid of this player personnel because he watched the All-22 film and he saw what I saw, Denver Broncos Mile High View, and the Bubble Man saw. He was like, oh shit, this player personnel is dog shit. And I'm so happy that there's actually Walmart General fans, those Bronco content creators, actually telling the truth and saying we're just a fan. Thank you. Thank you for speaking the obvious. And thank you for telling your audience the truth for once. Thank you for saying you're just a fan. Stay in your lane while the Bucket Man, Denver Broncos Mile High View, Mile High Bubble, and the real Denver Bronco fans get to work and actually provide you the information that needs to be needed. It took you 8 years to beat a team that wasn't on their A game, who didn't take you seriously, who played backyard football, and Travis Kelce admitting it on his own podcast, saying that, yeah, we weren't up for this game, and when we finally got our groove together, the game was over. And then you have the Kansas City Chiefs going to Germany, playing a much tougher opponent in Miami, and winning that football game and look 10 times better than they did against your Denver Broncos. For your Walmart Generals. You didn't kick this team's ass. A team finally didn't take you seriously and hasn't been taking you seriously for 8 years, and you finally capitalized on that opportunity. And the Chiefs bit themselves in the ass. You didn't kick their ass. You didn't show anybody anything outside of Sean Payton running his offense. Now, granted, we have been saying for the past, since going to the offseason at Denver Broncos Mile High View, that teams need to come and play their A game against the Denver Broncos because as an offensive game plan and as an offensive mind, Sean Payton, they're going to be able to march up and down the field better than they did under Hackett, under Joseph, under Fangio, because of the creativity, but also the offense that he wants to run. You could go back to my own channel, Bucket Man Scouting, because I'm back, baby. Guess who's back? Back again. But anyway, you could go to my own channel, Bucket Man Scouting, and I say word to word verbatim what his offense is. It's not the Bill Walsh offense, which they were trying to sell you during the offseason, and that blew up in their face. It is the Bill Parcells offense. He comes from the Bill Parcells coaching tree, which I've been saying all along. And also, New Orleans doesn't miss Sean Payton whatsoever. They have a better record and they have a better overall team than the Denver Broncos do. I believe that this ownership is inept. I want to talk about this ownership in the front. I believe that they are inept. Granted, they don't have to be listening to the front office people. That's pissing off the front office people. But again, even if you did get rid of these front office individuals, guys like Brian Stark, Walsh, Daryl Moogie, George Payton, this, that, and the third, you actually have to go out and find people that actually fit what Sean Payton wants to do and what he wants to run. And you have to empower those individuals to get the players that you want. You can't just give Sean Payton full control. We saw that happen with Bill O'Brien. We saw that happen with John Elway, the very own John Elway, who ruined this organization. You're seeing it with Bill Belichick now. You have to have an understanding from the top down. You have to have people in that front office that are in lockstep with your coaches. And you have to have an ownership that doesn't meddle. So at the end of the day, I wanted to be very clear and concise because there was a lot of hoo-ha, we're back, baby, let's ride crap that I heard during the week. And I just wanted to see how the Chiefs responded going to Germany facing the Miami Dolphins, and they basically proved the Bucket Man's point, Chopped Liver's point, and the Bubble Man's point. We were right. We were right about this game. We were right. Run the Sean Payton offense. Don't run the Pat Shurmur offense. Because you know the Colorado Buffs are doing it now, and look how they look. 20-plus yard bombs, trying to go deep with it. That's not going to win you football games. The only way I see the Denver Broncos winning these games down the stretch is if the teams that they're facing don't take the Broncos seriously and run Walmart General football. Very own Denver Broncos football. That's the only way I see the Broncos winning these games down the stretch. I've been right for 8 years. You guys have been right for, I would say you guys have been right, for one game? I wouldn't say the Chiefs game, you guys were right about that. Not at all. Not at all. Granted, I thought the Chiefs would want to come in and make a point. But again, that's more to the Chiefs' detriment, and I have to get on the Chiefs' ass. But again, they have historically, they set an NFL record beating you guys 16 straight games. 8 years. That's a NFL record. I don't think people realize that. That's an NFL record that will never be taken away. I don't think we're ever going to see a singular team in their own division beat a team 16 straight times. But the Walmart Generals love to set those records on the losing end. So at the end of the day, you guys are delusional into thinking that we destroyed the Chiefs. I just want to shut up that narrative. That narrative being talked about in the Bronco content creators community is bullshit, and they're lying to you. But again, I have to give credit where credit is due. The Walmart General content creating community actually admitted finally after 8 years that you're just a fan. Thank you. Thank you. My prayers have been answered. You guys are just fans. Stay in your lane while the people that actually understand the game of football take over. The coaches like myself, Chopped Liver Bubble Man, and the real Denver Bronco fans, let us take over. Because we understand the importance of telling the truth, not bullshitting with people. We don't get paid for this. We don't come at you as a fan perspective. Granted, we want the Broncos to be good again, but we're not going to sit here and cheerlead bullshit, and we're not going to cheerlead the aspects of what we're seeing on the All-22 film. There's some bright spots here and there, but we like consistency We like player development. That's what we are into. We're not into going out, getting big names a la John Elway, what he did as a coach, GM, owner, all the above, who's still in that organization. Just listen to Sean Payton and George Payton saying it out of their mouth. But I didn't need those two to basically say it. I mean, we've been saying he's still a part of this organization. He has an office down the hallway, right? Yeah. He just has an office down the hallway. That's a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory, right? Okay. Keep telling me that we're wrong. Keep telling us that we're wrong. Because every time you say that, you guys look stupid and stupid and stupid by the day. So, I wanted to do this video because I just wanted to take a step back and listen to all the bullshit out there. And I also wanted to see how the Chiefs responded and basically proved my point, Chot Delivers' point, and the Bubble Man's point. So, we'll see what happens in Buffalo. Are we going to let's ride into Buffalo? Or we gonna ride in there? Yeah. Let's ride.